I'm sure you have a front door which you lock before you leave home. How long does it take you to unlock your door each time you reach home? A few seconds? Now imagine you just reached home and it is past midnight. Before you can unlock the door, the street lights goes out, there are strong winds and you see a white figure nearby. That white figure seems to be moving and it is drifting nearer and nearer towards you. How long do you think you will take to unlock your door this time? Most likely much longer. The reason you take longer is because fear has kicked in. So we need to understand that fear reduces our capability. You lose even the ability to manage something as simple as unlocking the door, which you've done thousands of times. The important realization from this story is that we cannot do well in life if we carry fear in us. Unfortunately, many people in the current society constantly carry fear in them. People fear their bosses. People fear the bully in their workplace. People carry the fear of not being able to pay their debts. People worry about their house being foreclosed by the bank. Some fear that they will get sued. Some worry about losing their jobs or not being able to find employment. Some fear that their spouse will cheat on them. Some fear that they will someday get a disease. Some even fear how others talk about them. Some simply worry about their future. You need to understand that fear is not real. Fear is a product of the thoughts that you create. It is what you think about that creates the fear in you. The more serious issue with having fear is the disease it creates. The more fear you have, the more you create your own disease. The brain, once it senses fear, will send a signal to the kidneys, and the adrenal glands in the kidneys will then release two hormones, basically cortisol and adrenaline. The combined release of cortisol and adrenaline makes your muscle tense and increases your heart rate. You may even lose your appetite as a result. The constant repeat of this cycle can cause damage to your thyroid. It leads to what most people call stress and over time damages the kidneys as well. If you cannot remove fear, it gets worse. You end up attracting what you fear. You might have heard of the best-selling book called The Secret, in which it talks about the law of attraction. The law of attraction basically tells us that we attract what we think about. So if we think about our worst fears and worries, that is exactly what we will be attracting. So do you want to avoid getting more problems and disease in your life? If you do, then you will have to learn how to stop your brain from creating thoughts of fear. Here are 4 steps on how you can remove your fear. Step 1. Tell your brain to shut up. Here's a quick fix to shut down your brain when it gets out of hand. Breathe in as much air as you can using your nose and then hold that breath as long as you can. Next, exhale all the air out from your lungs through your nose and hold as long as you can. Now resume breathing, but this time try as much as possible to reduce the amount of air intake with each breath. Reducing the amount of air intake will cause your brain to calm down and stop the thoughts that you do not want. Step 2. Removing all your fears for good. First is to make a list of all your fears. Be as detailed as you can. Take your time to think of all the fears and worries you have. Find a quiet place and in a standing position, raise your arms upright with palms facing up. Call out your own name and say, I remove the fear of loneliness, for example. Repeat the same steps for each fear that you have listed. Step 3. Retrain your brain to have courage. You must train yourself to be courageous, and the only way to do this is to keep doing something courageous each day. List down what you don't dare to do and do it now. Step 4. Change your understanding. You must learn to understand the thoughts you create in you and start to change your understanding of things. If you worry about your future, it could be due to your constant thoughts of how bad things can become. If you worry about your work, maybe it is because you keep thinking about not having enough time. If you are afraid of your boss, it might be you thinking and playing out in your mind how you will get scolded. You need to understand that you came to this world with nothing, and you will leave this world with nothing also. So stop living your life constantly carrying the fear that you will lose something. You have nothing to lose, only a life to experience. The truth is, there is no point in carrying the fear. You just need to be solution driven. From now on, commit to yourself to live a happy life that is free from your self-created fears. Thank you for watching this video. Share this video with others to help them overcome their fears and live a happy life.